In this podcast, the host interviews Dynamo, a renowned illusionist and magician, to uncover the personal struggles and challenges he has faced throughout his life. Dynamo opens up about his difficult childhood in Bradford, England, where he experienced racial abuse and bullying. He shares how his father went to jail when he was just 4 years old, leaving him without a male role model in his life. Dynamo's mother, who had him at a young age, struggled to raise him on her own, and he often felt isolated and scared at school. Dynamo recalls being thrown into a river by bullies and the trauma of nearly drowning. He also discusses the racial tensions he faced in school, where he was often targeted for being biracial. Despite these challenges, Dynamo found solace in magic, which was introduced to him by his grandfather. He explains how learning and performing magic tricks helped him gain positive attention and deflect negative experiences, providing him with a sense of empowerment and control. As Dynamo grew older, he continued to face hardships, including a strained relationship with his father, who re-entered his life when he was 19. Dynamo recounts a troubling encounter with his father, who asked him to help sell drugs, leading to a sense of resentment and disappointment. He reflects on the complex emotions he felt towards his father, who was abusive towards his mother, and the impact of his father's passing. The podcast delves into Dynamo's struggles with mental health, including a suicide attempt in 2020. He candidly shares the overwhelming noise and internal turmoil he experienced, expressing a desire to escape from the pain. Dynamo also discusses the physical toll his career as a magician took on his body, leading to a deterioration of his health and a loss of passion for his craft. Despite these challenges, Dynamo expresses a renewed sense of hope and determination to reclaim his love for magic. He acknowledges the support he received from mentors and positive role models, such as his English teacher, who provided him with encouragement and a safe space to learn. Dynamo emphasizes the importance of using his experiences to inspire others who may be facing similar struggles, highlighting the transformative power of magic in his life. Dynamo goes on to talk about the impact of Crohn's disease on his career as a magician. He explains how he pursued magic as a way to belong and found solace in the craft. However, he also discusses the psychological toll of not being able to perform magic due to his health issues. He shares his feelings of self-doubt and worthlessness, as well as the pressure to live up to others' expectations as a successful magician. The conversation delves into the various challenges Dynamo faced, including the loss of his grandparents, legal disputes with his management, and the inability to use his social media channels under his stage name. He describes the overwhelming feeling of the world being against him and the impact of these events on his mental and emotional well-being. Dynamo opens up about the darkest period of his life, during which he experienced intense self-hatred and engaged in self-harming behaviors. He describes feeling numb and wanting the ground to swallow him up. He also discusses the impact of his struggles on his relationship with his partner, acknowledging that she may not have fully understood the extent of his pain and suffering. He shares the moment when his wife found him unconscious in bed after attempting to take his own life. This experience was a turning point for him, as he realized the impact his actions had on those around him. He expresses deep shame and regret for putting his wife through such a traumatic experience. The podcast delves into Dynamo's journey to seek help and support, including therapy and other forms of treatment. He speaks about the kindness of his therapist, who offered to provide sessions for free, and the impact it had on his recovery. Dynamo also shares his experience with sonic reset therapy, a form of treatment that has helped him calm his mind and find peace. One of the key moments in Dynamo's recovery is when his therapist recommended reading the Alcoholics Anonymous book. He explains how the book provided a blueprint for overcoming trauma and grief, and how he was able to apply the principles to his own journey. Dynamo emphasizes the importance of finding purpose and belief in something greater than oneself, and how it has helped him navigate through his struggles. He also discusses the impact of his mother's abusive relationships and how it has influenced his own understanding of love and attachment. Dynamo reflects on the cycle of seeking out toxic attachments based on early experiences of love and attachment, as explained by psychologists he has spoken to. He emphasizes the importance of seeking help and breaking the cycle of toxic relationships, especially for individuals from working-class backgrounds who may feel pressured to suppress their emotions. Dynamo also shares his motivation for his new TV show, Dynamo is Dead, and his decision to bury himself alive as a symbolic act of letting go of his old identity. He expresses his desire to bring joy, wonder, and escapism to people during challenging times, and to use his platform to encourage others to seek help and share their stories. During the podcast, Dynamo performs a series of magic tricks showcasing his talent and creativity. He involves the podcast host and his team in the tricks, creating a sense of wonder and amazement. Through his magic, Dynamo conveys the idea of taking something intangible and bringing it to life, reflecting his own journey of rediscovering the magic within himself. The podcast also features a discussion about the power of vulnerability and the importance of seeking help. Dynamo's openness about his struggles and his commitment to using his platform for positive change resonates with the audience. The podcast ends with a message about the importance of self-care and the impact of seeking help on one's mental health.